figure out just how much air I will need to breathe when your tide rushes over me. There's only one way to figure out, but will you let me drown? Yeah, will you let me drown? And hey now, this is my desire, consume me like a fire, 'cause I just want something beautiful to touch me. I know that I'm in reach, 'cause I am down on my knees and waiting for something beautiful. Oh, 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 something beautiful. And the water is rising quick, and for years I was scared of it. We can't be sure when it will subside, so I won't leave your side. No, I can't leave your side. Hey now, this is my desire, consume me like a fire, 'cause I just want something beautiful to touch me. I know that I'm in reach, 'cause I am down on my knees and waiting for something beautiful. Oh, 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 something beautiful. Oh, 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 something beautiful.
Fresh cut grass, one cold beer. Thank the Lord, I am here and now. Here and now. Summer dress, favorite part. Bless your soul, we are here and now. Here and now. I'm wide awake, so what's the point of dreaming when your life is great? Celebrate the feeling, celebrate the feeling. Oh! Can't complain about much these days, I believe we'll be okay. Oh, 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 oh. Can't complain about much these days, I believe we'll be okay. Oh, 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 oh. Let's scream it out, I believe we'll be okay. Sun-kissed skin on my lips. Thank the Lord, I am here and now. Here and now. Fireflies after dark. Bless your soul, we are here and now. Here and now. I'm wide awake, so what's the point of dreaming when your life is great? Celebrate the feeling, celebrate the feeling. Oh! Can't complain about much these days, I believe we'll be okay. Oh, 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 oh. Can't complain about much these days, I believe we'll be okay.
We both think we're funny.
We both think we're pretty funny.
We regularly laugh at ourselves more than the other one laughs at us.
My parents were very surprised that I brought someone home who I thought might be funnier than myself.
Ooh, you think I'm funnier than you, maybe?
Might.
That's something that you've never admitted before.
Might be as funny.
That's fair.
Let the bow break, let it come down, crash.
I remember when we first met, we were at church.
We were definitely at City Light Benson, which is where we were both going to church. He had to kind of remind me about like when we first met. I had just gotten off a plane from Italy. I was there for 2 months. I was jet lagged. I had been traveling for 24 hours and I had slept for about 6 hours.
I was staying after to help wash dishes because we had a potluck.
And I had a plate with my banana bread on it, and afterwards I was trying to look for it. I said, hey, does anyone know where this plate is? It has some writing on it. He was like, I've got this plate? And I was like, yes.
This girl came in and said, yep, that's the one. So I handed it to her and said, here you go, I don't have anything to dry with.
So we introduced ourselves, and I don't really remember that very well, but I remembered after that we did a lot of stuff at church.
I remember thinking, this girl's cute, she's kind of tall, and I might look around for her next time.
I thought he was really cute. I liked how tall he was, and that he came to church alone every Sunday, so I was like, okay, he's dedicated. Like, he's not coming here for anyone else, he's not coming here with his family, like, he is consistent. And he also like showed up all the time for all of the serving nights, which I was really impressed with, that he like would come and do that and offer his services.
I friended her on Facebook and kind of went from there.
If they told me you could not come true, just love's illusion, but then you found me and everything changed.
Our first date was at Black Oak Grill.
I was really, really excited because I liked him for a while, and I was kind of like hoping this would work out.
I remember she had straightened her hair for it. She was wearing a red dress.
It just flowed so easily. I wrote in my journal that night, like, I've never been more compatible with anyone that I've ever met. Like, this is crazy.
And most importantly, on the first date, she hit me, so. But I probably deserved it, so.
The most embarrassing part of the date is that I ended up telling 3 stories that involved me crying at the end. Because I guess I thought they were like nice and dramatic and like good stories, so like I have emotion involved. So Paul thought that was really funny and made fun of me quite a bit on our first date, and I hit him. I actually punched him across the table on our first date.
And I made some sort of comment which I guess deserved getting hit, so.
So the whole date went really well, and I was like super into it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this was fantastic. So he was like walking me to my car, and he said, well, hey, I'll see you on Sunday. And in my head I'm like, oh no. That's like the nice Christian boy way of like, I'll see you on Sunday, but only at church. And because he didn't mention like liking the date particularly well or like a second date, so I kind of panicked. And I like called my brother after the date, and I was like, what does this mean? He's like, Cassie, I'm gonna be honest, it is not good. I was like, oh no, like he's not gonna ask me on another date. And I called like my best friend and her husband, and I was like, can I talk to Matt? Please let me talk to Matt. And so Abby gave me to Matt, and I was like, Matt, what do I do? And he's like, okay, just don't be needy, like don't sound desperate. Send him a text, just make it sound super chill. And I was like, I don't even know what that means, Matt. Like, tell me verbatim what that means. And so he like wrote out a text for me, and I sent that one to Paul, and he didn't answer for a super long time. So I was like, okay, so now he's drafting this like super long, like nice Christian breakup text that's like gonna be really nice, but it's taking him a while to like make it sound good. And I was wrong. He was like just taking a while to answer for whatever reason, maybe trying to keep it cool, not sure. And it was like just a couple of sentences, but it was like, yeah, absolutely, can't wait for round 2. I was like, oh my gosh, best day ever. So.
We went on quite a few dates right off the bat. I think I just kind of tried to test the waters. She seemed pretty, like she had good character, and she was fun to hang out with. And it wasn't more than a couple months before I started sneaking out questions like what she thought about kids or what she did with her money or things like that.
Like after the first date, I knew that it was different because it was like all the things that like I had on like an actual list that I'd written out. He was all of those things, and I liked him. He just made me feel like so like special and like loved, even though we hadn't even said that word yet. Like he just was really good at like cherishing me, and we had so much fun. It was so easy to be around him.
She was just far different from the get-go than any girl I'd ever spent time with. There was no difficulty at all to hang out with her or to just speak my mind, which I'm pretty quiet usually. And for her to bring that out natural in me, it just felt smooth talking with her, and I think that just boiled into a desire to keep that going for the rest of our lives.
The The first kiss was kind of a funny story also.
We went out for Halloween with some of her friends.
He was Paul Bunyan, a very attractive one, and I was a Care Bear.
And then we came back to my house.
I was like, man, I really want to kiss him. But I was like, I'm not gonna make that move, but like, I'm gonna make it available because I really wanted to. I was like, hey, can I have some water? Just so I could like have an excuse to go into his house. And so he's like, yeah, sure. And then I was like thinking about, okay, I want to kiss him. I have white paint on my lip. That's weird. So then I was like, hey, do you have a washcloth? Can I like wipe? I just like, I don't want this. It's like itchy. Can I wipe this off?
And she was wiping the makeup off her face, and then I kissed her.
And I like turned around and he kissed me, and it was wonderful.
Oh yeah, I mean I have nerves, but I didn't let it show, so. The first time I told her I loved her, it had definitely been building up because, I mean, I knew I loved her.
And he'd kind of been, before this, like hinting at I love you. Like the week before, it's been saying like, I'm falling in love with you, or like, I love hanging out with you. And I was like, it's coming. Like, he's saying a lot of love-ish words.
I hated myself for doing it after a wedding.
It was the day of his twin brother's wedding.
After my brother's wedding, I really did feel just an immense love for her and the desire to tell her that I did love her.
That night, like as I was leaving, he was like, Kassie Johnson, I love you. And I like melted, obviously. And I said I love you too, so.
Yep, she was very happy. She told me she loved me, so.
"4 months after we started dating, we were on our Valentine's date, and he was like, Kassie, when do you want to stop dating? And I was like, I think you mean the positive way. I'm pretty, like, in my mind, okay, this is a good thing. He's not breaking up with me in the middle of Valentine's Day. Good. After I made sure that that was the case, I was like, man, I don't know. Like, I had always thought that I wanted to wait a whole year until we were engaged, but gosh, it's so obvious, like, that you're the person that I'm gonna be with. And we could wait longer and, you know, have more time when we're just dating, but like, I love you. I want to be with you for the rest of my life. Like, God has clearly like made this his purpose for us. And so I don't really think I need to wait.
Her and her best friend had come to a pact where she helped her friend's boyfriend at the time pick out a ring, and now it was her friend's turn to help me pick out a ring.
And so I was like, so yeah, we're gonna go ring shopping, but you're actually gonna go with Sarah. And so I knew that that was gonna happen.
But then what she didn't know was I very quickly met up with her friend who lives in Kansas City. But we kept it a secret from Kassie.
He was like, hey, what are you doing this Friday? And neither of us had plans. He said, let's go to Indian Cave State Park and we're just gonna hang out. And I was like, that sounds good. So like at one point it was like, this might be it. And I was like, don't think that. Do not think that. That's not fair. Don't be that girl. And so I tried really hard to like not overthink that. And I really didn't. I did a pretty good job of like keeping it together.
And we were planning on just hiking around. My plan was to hopefully run into some other hikers and then ask them to take our picture. And when they took our picture, I would get down and ask her to marry me. But we didn't run into anyone. So I kind of took her off on a side path.
And we went on this one trail and there was like a really beautiful space off to the side and it was like an open field. And he's like, let's walk out on this ridge, like off the path. And he's like, okay, that sounds good.
And we just did some hiking around. And when we came back up, we were kind of just randomly talking.
And I said, I know that I'm not really supposed to say this, like this is cheating, but I cannot wait to do this kind of stuff on our honeymoon. And he was like, speaking of honeymoons,
And got down on one knee.
and said, Kassie, will you marry me? And it was kind of weird because I didn't actually see the ring in his hand.
I kind of held it off to the side and asked her to marry me, and she was just looking straight into my eyes and didn't see the ring. So she goes, seriously? And so I kind of did one of these and pulled it over in front of her.
And so he like pulled the ring like into my point of view and was like, Kassie, I'm being serious. So then I lost it and I was like, oh my gosh, yes.
But she said yes, and she was very excited, so was I.
I like couldn't stop just like smiling and I was so excited. And one of the cutest parts about the proposal was afterward, we like kept walking on the trail. Paul was just like, yes. face like at random times, or he'd just be like, it was really cute to see like how excited he was and that he felt like, okay, it's all done, like we're gonna get married. So that was fun.
Love is not proud. Love does not.
When I was asking her parents for her hand in marriage, her mom asked me a question along the lines of, what do I see in Kassie that I really like? And my response to her was that Kassie is very talkative, but she knows when to listen, which is not common these days. And she's very wise, but she knows when to not brag or be boastful. She just knows all these ends of dichotomies that just bring about a solid woman, in my opinion.
Love will sustain.
I love Paul for so many reasons. His intentionality and the way that he serves. Like, he's just so thoughtful about everything that he does, and he is such a man of God that like that means that he serves really intentionally. That means he's like looking out for people. He doesn't really show like emotions very easily. Like, he's pretty even-keeled, which is something that's really good for me because I'm an emotional girl. It's really fun because I'm his soft spot. Like, I get to see a side of Paul that I don't think anyone else sees. Like, maybe his mom or like his sister sometimes when he's not like wrestling them. But I love that I know that I'm his soft spot and that he is so intentional about loving me well. He works really hard to make sure I know that he loves me a lot.
Kassie, you are the most beautiful woman I have ever met. You are going to be the mother of my children and my helper for the rest of my life, and I am so excited. I love you.
Paul Hanson, I am so excited to be married to you. I cannot believe that you are all the things that I've ever wanted in a man, but I also like hanging out with you, and you are such a man of God, and I am so excited to be your wife and to serve each other and to love each other and to have a family together. I could not ask for a better man to be by my side for the rest of my life. I love you.
Life. Love is the river that
Nope.
Got it.
You did it. Introducing Mr. and Mrs.
Hanson.
That's us. We're gonna be the Hansons.
We are the Hansons.
We are the Hansons at this point. Yeah. That's true.
love never fails. You